Dear children, are you ready to attend the science class? Yes, now let's start. Let's revise the points that we studied in the previous class. Cells are the structural and functional unit of all living beings. All plants are made up of plant cells and animals are made up of animal cells. Then cell wall, large vacuole and pigment molecules are only seen in plant cells. These are absent in animal cell. But the animal cell and plant cell are similar in all other factors like presence of plasma membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus and all other cell organelles. These are the common factors of animal cells and plant cells. I asked you to make a model of plant cell and animal cell in the previous class. Do you remember? Make it fast and post a photograph in our class groups. Okay, we studied that these cells are the building blocks of every living being. But we cannot see them through our naked eyes. Do you know why? Yeah, they are very small. Okay, they are very small objects that we cannot see through our naked eye. Then how the scientist Robert Hooke find them? He used a microscope to observe cells. Let's observe that all the microscope of Robert Hooke. Now look at the picture. This is the old microscope of Robert Hooke. By using this microscope, he find out or discovered the cells. He observed cells the first time through this microscope. He observed the cells like a honeycomb or a beehive. The cells looks like a honeycomb. We use a microscope to observe living things that cannot be seen by a naked eye. Now let's think of a hand lens. It is used to get magnified image of things that can be seen with our eyes. So a microscope is used to observe living beings that cannot be seen with our naked eye. A hand lens is used to observe very small things that can be seen with our naked eye. So here comes our first activity. Activity number 1. How a hand lens differ from a microscope in its application. Number 2. If you want to observe a head louse, which equipment will you choose? Microscope or a hand lens? Head louse means pen which is living in our head. That is called a head louse. Okay. Now let's read the page number 9 of the textbook, which deals with observing a drop of stagnant water through microscope. Let's read the paragraph at a minimum of 5 times. Okay. Do you read it completely? What it says? There are many tiny organisms that are moving in it. Which are they? Let's see them one by one. Okay. The first one is amoeba. Can you see the amoeba? This is how it is appear through the microscope. The next one is euglena. It has a long flagellum for movement. Can you see it? Okay. The third one is paramecium. Its shape resembles to a footwear. The next picture will shows it. Like a footwear, isn't it? And the fourth one is bacteria. It may be of cylindrical or globular in shape. Okay, these organisms are very minute and can be seen only through microscope. Do you know why? Their body is composed of only one cell. Otherwise, they are single-celled organisms or unicellular organisms. This single cell performs all the activities of their body. So here comes our activity number 2. Draw and label the unicellular organisms. Number 2. One says that paramecium can be seen through microscope and hand lens. Do you agree? Why? We can see many plants and animals around us. We can see them through naked eye. They are having more than one cell in their body, so they are called multicellular organisms. Examples for multicellular organisms include all the plants and animals that can be seen through our naked eye. So let's conclude. Single-celled organisms are called unicellular organisms. Examples are amoeba, paramecium, euglena and bacteria. We can observe them only with the help of a microscope. Next is multicellular organism. These organisms have more than one cell in our body. Examples are man, deer, tiger, trees, etc. Okay. Now that's enough for today. Rest in the next class. Okay. Do your activities regularly.